Hey guys, I thought I'd just jump on stream really quick. Dexter's actually awake already. I was hoping to get some work done right now, but he's going to get up very, very soon. What I thought I'd do is, and just excuse the rope, what I thought I'd do is just go through some of the shrunken Ant-Man shots and just show how I built them out, because I really didn't go into a hell of a lot of detail when I was actually doing the tutorial. So I thought I'd go through each of the shots where I'm shrunk and just explain how I've built those out. So let's go and have a quick look. I'm not sure how many people are around. Wow, okay, so there's quite a few people already. Hassan Hamid, it is 6:23 a.m. So what I'm going to do is just jump into After Effects. Now, okay. So I'll address the chat in a sec. Welcome to everyone. But I'm just going to jump into After Effects really quick and just talk about these shots. Now the first shot, it looks like a moving shot, but it's not really. All I've done, if I just bring up the position controls, all I've just done is zoom in on this a little bit, and I've animated the position. So you can see the animation there. And if I bust this down to a quarter, and I just take out my little Ant-Man, you can see all I've done is scale it up and just animate the position, so we've got a bit of a tracking shot. And then to bring in my Ant-Man here, all I've done is parent that to the background layer there, so that when the camera actually pans over, it reveals my little Ant-Man right there. So a pretty simplistic shot, but it works pretty effectively. Now it'll play back in real time. There we go. So it adds a little bit of camera movement, so it helps to sell your effect a little bit better. And then of course I've added a drop shadow there. So I'll just zoom in a little bit there. And I'll just bring this back to full. So you can see I've added quite a few things. So yeah, key light, refine, head, hard matte, advanced spill suppressor, and finally we've got the drop shadow here. So if I turn that off, you can see it doesn't look as great, but the moment you put the drop shadow in there, you give your shot a little bit of depth. This is probably the shot I like the least out of all the other ones, but it's still not too bad. And I've added a photo filter, and I've even added a little bit of camera lens blur, because when you have a 4K green screen shot and you shrink it down, it sharpens it a great deal. So I've even got a camera lens blur of 6 there. And if I take that off, see how you can see just how ridiculously detailed it is. And against the backdrop of the blue arcade cabinet, it just looks really, really fake. So with a little bit of, I know it's fake, but with a little bit of actual blur, you remove some of that detail. And it does also help that I've got motion blur on for both of those layers as well. But yeah, if I just drop down those drop shadow settings, yeah, it's pretty simple. I've just added a little bit of distance to it because he's against the wall of the arcade cabinet, so there wouldn't be a hell of a lot of distance between him and the shadow. So that's that shot. Now if I move on to the next one, this one's a lot more convincing. Now I'll just bring that down to a quarter. And I'm just going to turn the audio off on that one. So yeah, I pop out. And this was one that was asked for in the comments of the Ant-Man video. Just say, how do you do that? Super, super easy. All I've done is just duplicate our background layer, which is just the arcade cabinet here. And I've just masked out the front. It's just as simple as that. Now, I could have also added a drop shadow just to cast onto Ant-Man there, but I didn't want to, mainly because it doesn't need it. I just think it'd be... It's more work than it needs to be. So, it's a pretty simple shot, that one. So, yeah, just a mask with a bit of feathering. Now, once again, there's quite a bit of stuff happening here. I've got key light, then I've got advanced spill suppressor, then I've got a refined hard matte on top of that, just to get this key. Because I've actually started using key light by using the intermediate result rather than the final result. And that's after watching Lennon Bracewell or Visionary Fire's ultimate keying tutorial, which is crazy, crazy good. I've always used final result, and this is like for over a decade, and it's only recently that I've been using intermediate result because the result is just so much better. It's just crazy. Now I'm just going to go through to the next one. Now this is the shot that probably sells the shrinking effect the best. Now I might just check the chat and see how everyone's going. Yes, I am going to do a giant man effect. I just haven't decided what I'm actually going to do as far as the context goes. Okay, so this one, it's a little bit more complicated, but not so much. So of course we've got our keyed actor here with all this stuff. This is why they're sort of chugging along as well, guys. At the moment, it's not so much key light, but when you bring in the advanced spill suppressor and you bring in the refined hard matte, you tend to get some pretty crazy results that take a bit of time. Usually I just use key light and go to final result, and I would be able to render this out pretty quickly. But the moment you bring in the spill suppressor and the refined hard matte, your computer's going to chug because they require a bit more rendering time. So this one, pretty damn easy. All I've done is just take my excuse me, guys. All I've done is just take my keyed footage. I've pre-composed it, and then if I open that up, you'll see that all I've done is add a drop shadow to it, and then I've just gone shadow only. And once I've pre-composed that, when I go back here, I can then just grab the pen tool and just mask around an area of Toad, and then all you're doing is just layering on a shadow underneath your keyed footage, which allows for a bit of interaction with anything else in the scene. So it's just pretty much it's adding a bit of depth to the shot, just to sell that your boy here is in the shot. And it never hurts to add some stuff around the person. So all that is just a protein shaker right here, and realistically I've zoomed in on those two items, and they were probably at the front of my desk, which is maybe 1.5 feet away from the TV or the monitor at the background there. So you can just see how easy it is to achieve that really shallow depth of field just by just zooming your camera in. And it ends up giving you a pretty decent shot. Now on this one, I did use a bit of camera lens blur, because let's just have a look. Okay, so that scale's only at 36%. And if I just remove the effects off that one, so there's the before, there's the after. Now I'll just go to the last one, and then we'll have a bit of a chat in the chat. Now this one is probably this was the most complex of the lot of them, and that's mainly because I totally forgot to get this shot. Stupidly enough. I was editing yesterday and I went, oh damn, I didn't actually get excuse me, I didn't actually get this shot at all. I totally forgot to hit record. And that doesn't happen very often, but I didn't record it. So I actually had to build this shot out completely. I recorded my reaction to Doug doing the old hello there, but so I had my green screen footage, but I didn't actually have the reverse shot of this one. So what I quickly did was built it out. So we started with this. So I've got that there, and then I actually had to mask out the back of Toad. Sorry, mask out the back of Toad, and then mask out the myself, and then the protein shaker. So I essentially built the shot again, just in After Effects, and then I synced up my movements with old Doug there. Sorry, I'm just going to bring that down to 1/4. So that when he comes up, just hit page down, and then bam. Sorry. So this was probably the most complicated of the shots, and it's really not that complicated, but I sort of saved my own butt there because I happen to have a reverse shot here, but I never actually got this hello there shot. And rather than going back and shooting it again and setting it all up, all I did was just go in the next morning, grab Doug's side, mask in Toad, so you can see Toad's just masked in. If I just grab that and I turn off that mask, you can see that was the original shot there. And if I solo this one here and I turn off the mask, I actually grabbed that. I reversed the previous shot and I just grabbed that out of that shot. And so combine all those shots together and you've got yourself a final reaction shot. But yeah, I didn't add any more shadows or anything like that to this one because I'd stepped away from Toad. Sorry guys if I'm a little bit incoherent today. It's mainly because it's, yeah, I've been up for about 20 minutes now. So just bear with me there. I'm just going to head back to this one here. And I'll pop the chat out. Now, I'll just deal with that one right there. Now, Roel van Claveren said, where did you get the Ant-Man sound effect? Funnily enough, I actually got it from a clip from Ant-Man and the Wasp. I believe it was the clip where Ant-Man's at school and he's getting the world's greatest grandma trophy. I just scrubbed through that until I found a silent version. Well, not a silent version. There was no music, and I just got the pure sound effect. And then to emulate the growing sound effect, I just reversed it. So I downloaded the trailer, isolated that sound in Adobe Audition, and then I reversed it to make a growing effect as well. So I just pretty much just grabbed the effect off the trailer. I can't remember what exact trailer it was, but I'm pretty sure it was, yeah, just a clip from when they were at school. MBW Doughboy said, can you go over the first one again? I missed it. Well, That's why we have an archive on the stream. But I'll just quickly do it because, you know, why not? I'm a nice guy. Okay, so I'll just go back into After Effects just really quick. Now, first one, very, very simple. All I did was just animate the background layer. So I'll just fit up to 100%. So I've both animated the scale, so you can see if we head to the end, you know, the position moves quite rapidly. And if I hit up the scale, it goes from 80% to 84.8%. So it just zooms in slightly. So it's supposed to sort of ape a parallax, but not really. Just a fake. And then we bring in our keyed footage, which is then parented. Excuse me, guys. Wouldn't be one of my streams without a bit of a burp. Yeah. So the keyed footage is then, you place it in the whatever position you like at the end of the animation, and then when you parent it to the layer, you can see that he sticks to his position. So basically just aping a pan, and then you've stuck your keyed footage to a certain point on there. Once you parent it to the layer, you've got yourself a nice little reveal there. So we'll go back to my face. So, Doughboy, I hope that I did actually check out your comment, and there we go. Promise kept. Hassan Ahmad said, "Bro, I love you." Love you right back, bro. I saw you actually did your got your 100K Film Learnin comp entry. Sorry, just put my phone down. Now, I'll just actually come up in the chat and just have a bit of a look here. Sammy Diaz says, "Hey, the breach in Season 5 looks so sick. Do you think you can make a second tutorial on breaches and leave the C4D file to experiment with angles, please?" I'm pretty sure that my my breach effect actually has a download with the C4D file in there. So if you wanted to check that out, you can. But I don't know if I want to do another breach effect. That took so long to get right, and I still wasn't happy with it. I feel like I need to do some sort of fluid simulation, like with Turbulence 4D or Real Flow or something like that. But yeah, I just have to learn how to use it. Let's see. STM Boats says, "Hey Grant, I'm struggling with the new Ant-Man shrink tutorial because when I mask my actor in the beginning, as soon as I connect the masked points, the background turns black." The background's supposed to turn black, dude. You're actually masking out the background. If you don't put a clean plate underneath your actor footage, your background will go black. So you need a background with no actors in it. So you need to shoot your actor, and then shoot your actor out of shoot the background with your actor out of the shot, and you need to put that background layer underneath your actor layer. That way when you mask out your actor, you'll still have a background. Okay? Sam Studio says, "Please make Venom transforming your priority high. Please, please, please." I'm actually working on that. It's not so much a priority, it's one of the ones I'm working on. I wish I could make it a priority, just like seeing the film, which I haven't yet. Let's see. Alliston said, "Please make an intro for Season 7 of Arrow." I haven't seen Arrow yet. I actually just kind of felt like watching Gotham last night, so I watched a couple of episodes of that on Netflix. Let's just keep scrolling. Sorry. Yes, I am going to do an Ant-Man growing effect. Deltros says, "Unity is really good for filmmaking purposes, and you can get all kinds of simulators, or you can even make your own to suit your needs and then record the screen with a black or green plane in the background." I might actually have to talk to my buddy at Roundtable Animations, Cliff, and see what you can actually achieve in Unity, because he works in Unity almost exclusively. So it might be nice to get another set of eyes on that, because I've never used Unity at all. Edward Piedmont says, any ideas for a substitute for a green screen because you're too lazy to rotoscope? Honestly, dude, you can go on eBay and get a green screen and a stand for less than $50. So there's no real excuse not to get a green screen. And yeah, doing rotoscoping, it's not fun, but if you do it in something like Mocha, it's a hell of a lot easier. Like, you can see in the tutorials that I do that I purposely avoid using the roto tool because I think it's kind of trash. It's great if you want to just isolate someone for 1 or 2 frames, but the moment you start doing it across an entire shot, I find it's terrible. Yeah, a lot of times I see people saying, oh, what if I don't have a green screen? Buy one. It's so much easier than rotoing every single shot. Spider Kid. Yes, we've talked about a Thor effect when he arrives in Wakanda. I actually have an idea for that, so hopefully I'll be able to get that done. But it is going to be using some assets from Action VFX, because there's no way of avoiding that. There's a hell of a lot of particle interaction with the ground and the sky, and anytime I can use the Action VFX assets, I'm going to do it. Adria Kessler says, you're amazing at what you do. Thank you very much. I'm okay. It's a far cry from being amazing. Now, guys, I did want to share something with you as well. I actually went on wish.com last night and I bought a flash ring, a Green Lantern ring, and the Spider-Man Infinity War web shooters. They're probably all going to be complete crap, but I did buy them because I wanted to do the a new web pack, a 3D web pack. So we've got that. And yeah, I've been wanting to do Green Lantern effects for ages. My nephew has a Green Lantern ring, but it didn't actually fit my finger. And I just randomly thought, you know what? Maybe I can get a flash ring. It's not the same as the Season 5 flash ring. I think it's a reverse flash ring, but it actually opens up. And hopefully they don't take too long to get here, because wish orders tend to take a while. But hopefully they do. Now, Deb's Life says, I have a green screen, but I can't afford a stand, and I don't have a wall behind my setup. How do I hang it? Hanging your green screen, you really do need some space. My advice would be, do you have a garage? Because if you have a garage, you can just stick it up there. You could hang it. Yes, you can hang it from the ceiling. And a lot of these green screens, they're made out of a fabric called muslin, where you could just kind of nail it or hang it via a hook. Or you could just use gaffer tape to just stick it to the roof. But yeah, you can actually buy a full green screen kit with stands on eBay for less than $50. I actually bought mine. Mine came from a special effects house, probably 15 years ago now, and then I bought the stands when I built the studio, and I think they only cost about $20 each. Curtin Kelly there, Kinsey says hi to Turkey. Hi to everyone in Turkey. And also love to India from Jill. Yes, Sammy Diaz, I did talk about the breach already. Deltros, now you mentioned that the first green screen you got was really, really creased. So you try to iron it and burn a hole in it. Look, my best advice with a green screen that's really, really wrinkly is throw it in the wash and then hang it out on the washing line. That'll get rid of some of the creases, but the muslin fabric is prone to wrinkle quite a lot. So I'd say wash it and then fold it up. Now, Dracky Games or Dracy Games says, I have a portable green screen with no stand. How do I use it outside? You could probably just find something to rest it against, or find something to stand it up against. Those portable green screens are tough. I did have one, and I actually gave it away in a Film Learnin short film competition, because when I got it, it was such a pale shade of green, it was just absolutely useless. Yes, Kinsel, I have all 3 dogs asleep. Where did I get my Toad figurine from? It's a good question. Where the hell did I get that from? I've got a whole bunch of them. I think I might have got them at Kmart, or maybe a Big W or something. Doughboy, I stopped watching Black Lightning probably about halfway through. I've really got to catch up on that. And Adria Kessler, I have not seen Supergirl since the 2nd episode of season 1. I just thought that wasn't really my thing. It's probably like Gotham. I've really just got to get back into it. Yes, I did talk about the breach on this live stream. Thinking of taking a chair with you outside. That's not a bad idea. Yes, Esty and I already addressed that. Kine Effects says some Spooktober meme effect video. I don't know what Spooktober memes are. I'm sure it's fantastic though. When you're buying a green screen, if you've got a little bit of money to work with, the green screen I have is actually a foamed backed flocked fabric, so it doesn't actually wrinkle, and it absorbs the light really, really well. So yeah, anytime you can get a foamed back green screen, do that. Derv Dewan says, so Grant, do you actually watch all the movies and shows that you make effects of? I try to. If it's a movie or a TV show that I don't generally watch, I'll just study that particular episode. But every single effect I do, I research and study relentlessly before I make it. Jinx PTV, shout me out, Mr. Grant. There you go. You get yourself a shout out, boy. Sammy Diaz and Sammy Films, they can get a shout out too. The Flash Tornado's arms, look, it's not a hard effect. The hard bit is doing an actual tornado simulation in Cinema 4D. I haven't figured out a really good way to do that. There are some tutorials online, but they're paid, so I'd have to actually, get that and then learn how to do it. And yeah, it's using Turbulence 4D. I tried to do a particle sim in Pyrocluster and it looked like absolute garbage. Jill says your Firestorm tutorial made my project excellent. I'm glad. I'm glad very much so. Can I do an effect where I throw someone really far like in Thor Ragnarok? You know what? I probably could do something like that. Oh, Ronnie. My man, Ronnie. OG. He's going to bed, so hugs right back at you, mate. Say hello to both your wife and your little girl. Kami says, how do you use the music in your videos without getting copyright striked? Generally, the music in my videos is 100% royalty free. The only thing that I've probably got away with, and that would be in the last episode, was using that Baby Shark music. And that was an 8-bit remake, and I used less than 10 seconds of it. If you generally, if you use less than 10 seconds of a song and you disguise it, so for example, I ran that through like a supermarket speaker filter, and I only put it through one channel. I think that only came through on the right side. So that kind of confuses the algorithm in being able to pick that up. What time is it out there, Grant? Jinx is asking. It is currently 6:53 a.m. I'm going to jump off soon. I just thought I'd do a quick stream because I wanted to just break down the Ant-Man effects and just answer a few questions. We're probably still going to do a Friday stream. My pleasure, Ronnie. Always happy to talk to my man. Hey, look, our buddy Crimson Wrens, the Flash man himself, is here. Now, guys, if you don't follow Crimson Wrens on Twitter, you need to go to Twitter right now and go to @RealisticWrens and give him a follow, because he is building out a Season 5 Flash suit, and so far it looks balls to the wall amazing. And also, check out his channel. How you doing? Go check out his channel. Wrens, if you want to, drop the link to your channel in the chat. Now, Fire Fury says, what do you think about Blender? I think it's an amazing open source 3D animator, but I find it kind of impenetrable. I really need to check out my buddy Tobias's Udemy tutorial and just really get into it. But once again, it's finally the time to do that, guys, because I'm actually hoping to get a second episode of Film Learnin up this week. Now, ST and Boats, I will say this one more time. Once the stream comes up, you check the archive, because I did answer your question. Drusy or Draki asks, what camera do you use? I use the Panasonic GH4. I really would like to upgrade to a GH5, but yeah, I don't have a budget for that. So I've been using that on Film Learnin for about 3.5 years now. Now, a Black Panther effect. I might do a Black Panther effect as soon as I locate a decent model. No, Jinx, I've never watched... actually, I've watched maybe a couple of episodes of Gifted. I thought, this isn't really for me, this show. And no, I haven't watched the latest episode of The Flash, but I will catch up on that, I think, today? It's Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's Wednesday. And yes, I have dogs. It's kind of obvious, isn't it? Now, I'm just going to scroll up because I'm pretty sure. Sammy Films, Harry Potter effects are one of those pain in the bum things that I really want to do. It's just to maintain any kind of currency on YouTube and actually get consistent views, it's very, very hard to fit them in. Because people want this movie's effects, they want, you know, this TV show's effects. And Harry Potter finished how long ago now? Yeah, Sammy Deer says, can you do the effect where Zoom gets speed from Barry and Harry? Ah, yeah. That's one of those ones that I want to do. It's just, yeah, it's on the list. What about a Doctor Strange clone effect? Yeah, that's another one where it's going to take a little bit of work to actually film it. At the moment, I'm trying to do ones that are a little bit easier. But yeah, I really would like to do that. Technical Sword saying in really weird font, I am your big fan. So there you go, Technical Sword. Five Fury says, how long have you been after effecting? 2002? That's probably when I started playing around in After Effects for the first time. SDM Boats, you have got more than one shout out. I've said your name multiple times. Let's see. Do I have an actual list of effects from people for you to work on? I do have an actual list, and it's very, 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 very long because I've had that Word document for nearly 5 years now. So there's probably thousands of effects on a list right now. So every now and then you'll see someone saying, I've been asking for this for a year. It's a sucky thing. I know I say that a lot. It's a sucky situation, but I have thousands of effects and I get requests. I get hundreds of requests a week. I don't put them all on the list. I just go, oh, well, that's been requested before. And this one's been requested before. It's just, it's a non-stop waterfall. And thank you for... Seth said Hulk effect, please. So, Leo Learning says, my name is Vinayak Talal Tuni. Please say it. I probably butchered that, but hopefully I didn't. Seth's asking for any Final Cut Pro X tutorials. I have a MacBook Air that's from 2009, and yeah, I've done one Final Cut Pro X tutorial, and that was painful, and it was only because Filmstro asked me to demonstrate Filmstro on a Mac. Crimson Wren's asked, what is your favourite film of all time? My favourite film of all time is 2000's Unbreakable, and it has been my favourite movie ever since then. So 18 years and going strong. There is a story behind why that's my favourite film, but it's a little bit heavy for a stream at 7 o'clock in the morning. I will tell that story one day, but there's a very specific reason that is my favourite movie and has been for 18 years. Drucky asks, are there any CGI packs coming up? Yes, there are. That's pretty much all I'm going to say with that. Estian, don't worry. It was no trouble whatsoever. I'm happy to answer your question. That's why I went on the stream today, just so I could talk about the Ant-Man effect and just show you guys how I built out some of those other effects. New Doughboy asked, how do you make the puppet doll move in your video? I don't make him move. He's real. Now, Crimson Wrens, I'll just say about why Unbreakable is my favorite movie of all time. I will say that if I didn't see that movie, I wouldn't be alive today. That's part of the story. That's a little teaser for you there. Meme Factory says, is editor as a career a great decision? It really depends on how much you like editing and whether you're comfortable editing other people's work, because sometimes that can be super boring. Seth B413 says, what are your thoughts on the Ant-Man and the Wasp credits? I'm guessing you mean the credits where they are recreating everything with the action figures, or you're talking about the post-credit scene. If you're talking about the credits with the action figures, I thought that was awesome. I loved that. Monkey Bits saying, nice dressing again. Well, thank you very much. We do it in style here on Film Learnin. Oh, by the way, Dexter has been talking non-stop since about 20 past 6. So I will get off eventually and go and get him up. Smart Sheep says, can you do a Venom symbiote transformation tutorial? Being able to build that out is going to take some time, but we will get there. Zyad, I'm not even going to try the rest of that. I was from Egypt and I learned from you. Thank you very much, buddy. Hope you're enjoying the stream, and Hope you're enjoying the latest tutorial. It looks like people are enjoying the new Ant-Man shrinking effect, and I'm really glad because, yeah, I shot that so quickly. And a couple of people in the comments said that I completely screwed up the 180-degree effect at the start, cutting between Doug and myself. I do that so often. I shoot them so quickly that I just stick the camera down and shoot. And for the most part, I always screw up when I'm doing the reverse shot with Doug, because I don't think about it until I'm in the edit and I'm like, ah, damn, and I really can't be stuffed. Yes, sorry, 180 rule. I screw that up constantly when I'm shooting with myself and Doug. Monkey bits like hashtag Venom effect will be the new Star-Lord helmet effect. I actually got sent through a version of the Star-Lord helmet effect from a subscriber, and he used Element 3D and used 2D tracking within After Effects to make this shot. But while I liked what he did, his tracking was still off as well. So, and it was mainly him fitting the helmet on his head. I could still see hair peeking out one side. That's the thing that screws up the Star-Lord helmet effect. It's not so much the tracking, it's the fact that you cannot fit that helmet on your head properly. Like, I see little bits I was wearing a wig in the shot that I shot, and I could not fit that helmet on my head without it being really, really big. But if you watch Infinity War, you can kind of see that they really flatten down Chris Pratt's hair all the way up here for any shots where he has to wear the helmet. But if you actually study frame by frame, like Spider-Man's mask coming off Infinity War, it doesn't look right because he's got hair and he's got ears that stick out. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt to try and nail that. I'd love to see some behind the scenes of how they actually did it, because clearly they didn't have any tracking markers on their faces. But yeah, I will get it done. Sammy Film says, what advice for a 10-year-old VFX artist like me? Make as much as you can and practice as much as you can and just get better, dude. That's the best advice I can do. You're at an age where you can just shoot whatever you like and have fun doing it. You're not doing it for a job. You're not doing it for anyone else. Just shoot it with yourself. And just, yeah, make as much content as you can. Why are people saying play PUBG? Dudes, I haven't played a game for a very long time. The last time I played a game was on my arcade cabinet. Yes, Adria Kessler. Have fun and enjoy the process. That is the best advice you can give anyone. Don't go out there and just go, yeah, I'm going to be the greatest filmmaker of all time, because you really need to work up to that. Just have fun. And the skills will come from there. No, Drake says, I have to film in public. How do I make it not awkward? You can't. If you're filming in public, you can't make it awkward. Make it not awkward. Bella the cat says, make a chicken effect. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's some sort of weird joke. Kinsel says, dogs sleep in garage all the time or when you go off. This isn't a garage, dude. And I'm going to get Dexter up in about 2 minutes. So I'm going to close this one out very shortly, guys. Yes, the dogs sleep on that couch all the time when I'm on stream. They're outside otherwise. Can you... Shuizi says, can you maybe help me replacing text in a trailer? I'm assuming you're talking about the email with the Shazam text. Look, I'm not entirely sure how you do that. You're trying to remove the text off screen and replace it with your own text. You may be able to do that using the remove module in Mocha, but I don't know, because you're trying to replace text over a moving shot. You might just have to like use a lower third. So put a solid over the top of. Okay, Dexter's getting angry now. Put a solid over the top of the text and then write your text over the top of it. That's the best way I could do that. Guys, Dexter really wants to get up, so I'm going to have to close this one out. We will have another stream later in the week. But for now, guys, he's getting very, very cranky. No, it wouldn't be difficult at all. Just add a solid, then mask out around where you've got your text, and then type your text on top of that. You don't have to do anything with shadows and lines at all. Guys, I'm going to close this one out. Thank you very much for coming to the stream and having a chat with me. And I will see you next time on Film Learnin, where we do a Shazam transformation effect. If I can get Dexter to stay still, because I have an idea for that, and I'm looking forward to building it. So, thank you very much for attending. And as always, guys, keep learning.